Good morning and welcome to another stay-at-home video journal, I could say. Today I woke up very early. I have done no knitting at all day, but I kind of woke up with yarn dyeing in my head. So I had 5 skeins of sock yarn. This one is yarn undyed by AC Wood, and it's 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, 4-ply. So I had 5 hanks of 100 grams each, and I've used this yarn quite a lot. I've used the 100% merino untreated for my favo sweater, and I dyed it with avocado, all 500 grams in one bath, which turned like really light. But today I've been experimenting with quite a few things, so I'm just gonna flip the camera and show you what I've been doing. Last year I think I've done an unboxing of this starter kit. I got this one on DT Craft Design, and this is the leaflet for it, and they send you enough natural dye, what is it called, yarn dye, to do 500 grams. So I've been keeping this stash to do it with this kit, but I've always been a little bit not scared, but of the mordant phase, and they say they give you 125 grams of alum and 25 grams of aluminium acetate mordants to use for your yarn. And this is the alum, and it looks like crystals, and then this is for plant base, like cotton and linen, so you use that one for that. You also have iron to modify the colors, and they give you in the instructions how to use it. I haven't used it, and these are the yarn colors. So I had 5, but I've used 2 already. But the only problem I have, like this one is still powder, I think, but most of mine, they just gone all wet. I don't know why, because I kept them in. Oh, this one is still powder, I think. Yeah, this one is still powder. This one is still powder. So the logwood purple and the lac are still powder. I can't tell what and acacia. So all 3 are powder. The only 2 that I use, they're not powder anymore. But they were all powder to start with. It's just that 2 of them, they just gone all like hard. The goldenrod and the madder. And those are the ones that I used, because it says here that if you mix goldenrod with madder, you have lovely orange shades. Now mine does not look orange, and it might be because I used alum to as a mordant bath. Maybe that's why, or maybe they don't show as orange until I finish the dye. I don't know. I kept 2 skeins to do it without the mordant, because I don't like doing the mordant phase, and I don't know. I mean, all my yarns, all my knits and all my yarns, I hand wash them cold anyway, so the dye shouldn't go too much. And obviously, if you want a strong color, then maybe use the mordant, but I think I've had it with it, so I'm just gonna leave them out, and I'm gonna keep these 3 to use with some other yarn. but in the bath, I'll show you now. In my yarn bath now, I've got 2 skeins of alum treated wool, and these are not treated. This one is an avocado dye that I've done yesterday, and I bought a skein of yarn. Let me see if I can find wherever I put it. Let me look for it. So like I said, this yarn here is Opal pullover. Oh gosh, it's not a language I can read, but it's this yarn, and I got it just to try. It doesn't have any English instructions. I'm pretty sure it's just simple sock yarn. Superwash, because it says wash at 40 degrees. Oh yeah, here we go. So 75% wool, virgin wool, and 25% polyamide. And I bought it on Wool Warehouse, I think. And I've put it into a hang, and then I dyed it with avocado, and it shows like beige, but it's pinkish. In real life, it's quite nice color it turned out. I've only used 1 skein in a bath, so that's why the color looks so nice, and I'm really happy with it. I mean, it has different shades, as you can see. That one is lighter, this one is darker, and I like that about it. Now, one of these skeins, I used some of these fabric dyes for it. So I used the green, I used the Dylan pink, like a bright pink, and this metallic fabric paint. I've been using these fabric paints to do my fabric printing with the wood blocks, and it worked really well. It doesn't wash off at all, even in the washing machine at 40 degrees, but that is because you seal it with the iron. Now obviously you can't seal this with iron on the wool, on the yarn. It's just hard. So I tried to just pour hot water on it and see if that worked, but that kind of diluted the fabric. So this is a no, it didn't work. But I used a little bit of my dye bath of Madam. Let me take you there. It is. So I used this to just pour a little bit over on my yarn that I'm going to show you in a minute, and turmeric, paprika, oh, I can't remember what else, but I'll show you the yarn. But anyway, this is the bath that I have now. So it's not orange, it's more like a dark red brown color, but we'll see when it finishes and when I wash it to see what color it's left with. But let's go and see the yarn, the variegated yarn I've done. So here it is. I don't know if you can see it, but the turmeric left quite a nice yellow in it. I'm not sure if the pink is from the Dylan pink yarn, or is just like bled from the madder, but it's kind of like it's got reds, pinks, yellows, beiges, peaches, and it turned out quite nice, to be honest. I washed it quite a few times, even with washing up liquid, and then rinsed it a few times in cold water, and then the color stopped coming out, and it looks quite nice. So I have a feeling when I finish the one that's on the stove now, it might be like a lighter version of this, which is nice. I like it. But yeah, that is what I've been up to today, and I'll keep filming the results of the next one that I've got. So later today, it's later now, I meant to say, I've taken out my wool that was in the bath that I showed you earlier, and this is the color that it turned out to be. And it is true, it is kind of orangey, but it's more like a brownie orange. It's not bright orange, no yellow orange or anything like that. But this is what it looks like, and I had to rinse it a couple of times. It has a little bit of stain like this from, I think, some of the gloop of the madder got stuck to the bottom that touched the yarn. But both skeins look pretty much the same. This slightly lighter, so I'm not sure why. Maybe because I put this one in first and then follow with the second one right after, but maybe this one soaked the color quickly. But yeah, this is what it looks like compared to the one I've done without a mordant. I'm assuming because of the mordant, this one is more like an orange and this one is more like brownie pinky something. But yeah, that's what it looks like. So I had a bit of color left, and I put it in the bath, and I sprinkled some turmeric and some pomegranate vinegar in it. So we'll see what color that's gonna give. But so far it looks like it's going to be yellowish. So yeah, that's my yarn so far. I have taken out the other yarn from the bath. So after I've taken this one out, which was dogwood and madder, with mordant yarn, now you can see that that one is slightly darker than this one. I put this one in with a bit of turmeric, but it was mostly madder and dogwood, and also a splash of pomegranate vinegar, and it changed into this like bright yellow, which is amazing. I really like it. And then I decided, because I wanted to give black and what was the other one called? Purple logwood and lac. I put a little bit of each in water, and I soaked this wool and maybe let it simmer for about 40 minutes, and then I washed it, and the dye started to, like, it came off quite a bit because it looked a lot darker in the pan than here, but it looks amazing. It's so beautiful. I can't believe it. And I didn't put any mordant at all in it. I washed it with warmish, pretty much hot water and soap, and no more dye came out. So I'm assuming it will stay like this. I don't know, but if it does, then I'm really happy with it. No mordant, just soaked the wool for a little bit. Didn't even let it soak for long after I heated it up. I just wanted to see the color, and it's amazing. I love it. And I had a little bit of dye left from this, and I decided to put 2 of my Knit Crates Peruvian Highland wool, which was like just off-white, a bit grayish. I wanted to put it in to see if I can get some lavender color. But yeah, I'm so happy with all my yarn dyeing for the day. It's beautiful. This one is slightly darker. This one is a combination of all kinds of dyes. Oh, there are my trainers. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. Can't wait for it to dry and start knitting. Here is the Peruvian Highland wool. I had, like I said, a bit of dye left, and as you can see, there isn't much left. But I put 2 skeins, so 200 grams of this yarn, which is kind of like a cable yarn. So I'm just gonna let it heat up slowly, because this is not superwash, so I don't want it to felt. Just let it heat up slowly, and it's just gone a little bit darker than what it was before, and it's kind of like a pinkish grey, and I like it. So I think that's it for the day. I'm not going to do any yarn dyeing now. All it needs to dry, and I start knitting. So I really hope that you enjoyed this quick video of my yarn dyeing process. It was the time now, 11:30, and I've done 5 skeins of superwashed 75 superwash merino and 25 nylon skeins, and I've got 2 more which will be pretty much ready in an hour, but I'm going to wrap it up for now. If it turns out nice, I will pop a picture here on the screen with the Peruvian Highland wool that I got from my knit crate to see what colour it turned. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!